Hi, everybody. It's Tuesday, the 8th November, and I'm Dorte X. I'm CEO and founder of Pila Pharma, and we are in the middle of a rights issue signing period. And I have today invited my friend Niels Raaschou to hear about his views upon Pila Pharma as a shareholder. Niels, will you tell us a little bit about who you are and your professional background, maybe?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for having me. I'm Niels, indeed, and we have known each other for quite a while now. Indeed, I am a property developer right now. My background is also a sales director in different companies, but also before that, I was an investment banker for 16 years. So I have been, into reading cases and company financials and all that for a long time. So I thought that's why I have to join Pila when they.
Yeah, so you're actually skilled. You have bought shares before, not only in Pila.
Yeah. I'm doing a little bit of share dealing in and out, indeed, yes, and it's a diversified portfolio, you could say, but also some of the slightly higher risk than others. Pila probably is one of them, but also with a huge potential as I see it. So that's why that's my background a little bit.
Yeah, so I'll just check because I wrote down a couple of questions here. So yeah, how long have you been an investor in Pila Pharma or co-owner of the company?
Yeah, in Pila, I was lucky to be invited in 2016, in June actually, in the very beginning. And that was indeed a much higher risky company at that time than now, as I see it. Also because there have been happening so much, even the small growing pipeline that we're talking about now is making everything far more potential and interesting than it maybe was in 2016. But so that's
so in
2016,
just to put it in perspective, we had just in-licensed this molecule that we work with, and I didn't have so much money in the company, but we had the molecule, which was great. At that time point, we actually had an in-licensing agreement with a 35% royalty that we later negotiated out. So indeed, it was much higher. We hadn't tested in neither animals we had in one mouse study, but no data from humans and so on. So we raised 2 million Swedish kronor then, and you were one of the early investors. But it's not the only time you invested. We have had some rounds on the go. I have this speciality of raising small amounts to get to the next level to increase the value. And you have participated in more than one, I think.
The whole idea, as I see it in Pila, is the bringing out of as I see it, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dorte, but bringing out a cheap tablet for this huge group of diabetes type 2 patients. What attracts me really is your idea that it's a tablet that actually can have under circumstances like warm weather or whatever. Today it takes a lot of it takes a refrigerator to store insulin, of course, and that's something that really will help a lot of people in third world countries and so on at some stage when Pila succeed in this. So that idea is intact, right, as I see it, and of course I've then been investing all the times, and I'm also definitely investing this time because it's actually looking at the price. It looks like it's the same price as when you started in 2016, when the risk was extremely much higher. So I think it's to be honest, I'm not the CEO, so I can say this. It's a giveaway right now, but we'll see. I definitely are signing up for more shares this time. Yeah.
I'm also signing up, and it's correct. I'm not allowed to comment on the share price, but I think we share some of those views. A third question is, it's about this, that we are now having this new shares issue, and you have decided to reinvest, not because it's an old habit. You told me before we started that every time you invest, you actually consider the case, and you never do it for pro bono or anything. It's, with the aim of getting a return on investment. So can you share your thoughts this time? You were actually one of the 10 people I called 1 week before we announced the new shares issue. So you were one of those who signed up as pre-subscribers.
Yeah, that's true.
We've agreed not to mention the amount, but maybe you can share your thoughts behind that.
In my investment world, it's of course looking at risk and also the diversification of what else do I have, but looking at the case at every time and reevaluating, seeing what is the risk and what's the potential. And definitely the first time I didn't invest so much, I think, but this time I have invested more. A lot more, maybe I could say, but not any numbers. So there's no reason for mentioning that. But it is because I think the case is far better now than 6 years ago. You have mentioned a few times in the announcements that you have a small pipeline even commencing, and I actually, to be honest, I do not understand why the market simply don't recognize that yet. But I think it's also because we can't really read it in the forums that are on the internet yet. So it's a small stock. It's a little bit illiquid, to be honest, but that's because people are seeing it as a very small company yet, and the idea they probably don't really understand yet. So it will come, I'm sure. And then liquidity is also important for a stock. We'll see what happens after the issuance here.
So Niels, I think anything else you want to add to this about what you will look at? Of course, you mentioned something about
I really look
good
forward
old friends.
I really look forward for an exciting 2023 actually, because it is also worth to mention that it's a stock you invest in when you have patience. You have said it many times, but it's a slow working progress and program. You have not slow, but according to plan. And you really have to have a little bit of patience. So 23, I look forward
as
to
investor,
indeed,
you mean?
So
it's not a quick fix investment case. It's you should have patience for what, 2 years or something. That's about what we.
Yeah, definitely.
In 2 years, we hope to have the next.
I would say that I don't have to say that I have patience because, as I said, I've been since 2016. So for me, it's not. No. It's not a quick trade. It's really trying. I would love the idea that this tablet that we are aiming for somehow is going to be sold one day. That would be my dream. Yeah.
Mine too.
Yeah. Because it will help so many people. So.
Yeah, and that's exactly my driver. I wanna heal what's not healed at the moment, and then there are other benefits. But I think this is a great place to stop. And I hope I can invite you another time if we continue this conversations online. Thanks a lot for showing up and sharing your points of views
and good luck
motivations.
with the investment. Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Bye bye.